Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muh Ikhsan. I want to review film SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run. SpongeBob on the Run is an American adventure comedy film adapted from the cartoon story SpongeBob Squarepants. The beginning of the story begins with SpongeBob activities with Gary, but SpongeBob has to leave his nail because he is working toward the Krusty Krab. After being at the Krusty Krab, Sandy came there to offer his newfound tool to Mr. Krab because the tool he found was free. So Mr. Krabs immediately accepted it. In Bikini Bottom, Plankton is working on a new plan to steal the Krabby Patty formula until Karen thinks that SpongeBob is actually responsible for all the previous failure and not Mr. Krabs. That same night, Plankton sneaks into the Krusty Krab and scans the Krabby Patty to print the formula, but SpongeBob by mistake caused Plankton to fall in the fryer and lose the formula while the latter is looking for the keys. This made Plankton understand that Karen's suspicions were correct. Meanwhile, in Atlantis City, the egoistical Rule King Poseidon has just used up all of slime from his newest sea slug, which is necessary to keep him fresh since sea slugs were almost extinct. Poseidon decides to get a new slug. Plankton finds out about this and kidnaps SpongeBob's pet snail. Gary saw that SpongeBob will go look for him and talks not interfere with Plankton plans. The next morning, SpongeBob finds out from Patrick that Gary was taken to Atlantic City. However, Plankton offers Otto, a robot made by Sandy, to take them in the city. Without SpongeBob cooking the Krabby Patties, angry Krusty Krab customers destroy the restaurant despite Mr. Krabs and Squidward. Otto takes SpongeBob and Patrick to the old town in the west where they meet a tumbleweed spirit named Shake. The Shake reveals that they are in a dream and must overcome a special mission to continue their quest. He gives them a challenge coin. Will enter them into a tavern haunted by a zombie pirate ghost, following a snail musical number with Snoop Dogg. SpongeBob and Patrick discover that the pirate souls are trapped by an evil spirit known as El Diablo, and their mission is to free them. El Diablo traps them in his office, but they instantly destroy it with sunlight by pulling back some of the windows blind. The pirate souls are freed, and SpongeBob and Patrick continue on their way until Otto wakes them up, thus revealing that everything was a dream. Now, accompanied by Shake, SpongeBob discovers that Poseidon used Gary's slime to stay young, and as soon as it runs out, he will enslave him with the dry slug left over from before. Arriving at Atlantic City, Shake warns the pair not to be distracted by the city attraction, which they ignore. After a fun night, SpongeBob and Patrick finds that they have lost the challenge coin. that allow them to be brave. But they have still reached Poseidon's place. When they try to take Gary away, the two are erased. Back in Bikini Bottom, Planktons arrive at the Krusty Krabs and depressed Mr. Krabs give him the formula because nothing is the same without SpongeBob. Knowing that SpongeBob and Patrick are about to be executed in a lavish show to redeem Mr. Krabs, Squidward, Sandy, and Plankton decide to go find and save them. In prison, Zack reveals to SpongeBob and Patrick that the challenge coin never had the strength and courage to come from themselves. When SpongeBob is about to be executed because Patrick make a deal with Chancellor Poseidon to save himself, Mr. Krabs, Squidward, Plankton, and Sandy enter the event to testify in favor of SpongeBob. Together with Patrick, each recount an experience they had in their childhood with SpongeBob when they were at summer camp, making the audience grateful. Afterwards, the group performed some musical numbers to distract Poseidon and lead Gary away. Poseidon noticed the diversion and ordered his guard to arrest the group. SpongeBob and friends managed to sneak around the place to the exit, but once again cornered when Otto forget to pick them up. Poseidon confronts them but happily orders the accusation dropped for entertaining him. However, he also does so on the condition that SpongeBob gives Gary and never comes back for him. Remembering Zack's words, SpongeBob gains courage and refuses, cheating that his friends went out of their way to help him the rescue. When Poseidon learns that he has no friends, revealing that he needs slime for his appearance, SpongeBob offers to be his friend and tells him that beauty lies within and he doesn't need to hide it. This caused Poseidon to erase all of his setting and refer to his origin appearance. Everyone accepts him for who he is, and Poseidon lets SpongeBob stay with Gary. Otto drives the group back home while Poseidon releases all of these enslaved slugs to keep them company, and Bikini Bottom ends up becoming a sea slug heaven. This film is not just an entertaining spectacle with its jokes, but there are also a number of lessons that we can learn from it. One of the most emphasized lessons of this film is the meaning of friendship. This can be seen in the final half of this film when several of SpongeBob's friends shares their friendship moment with the yellow sponge. Broadly speaking, Sponge on the Run is suitable of those of you who like an entertaining show to watch with your family on weekends. If you are interested, you can watch this film on the Netflix streaming service. So if you have watched the movie, the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, don't forget to write your opinion in comments column.